Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for our Career Conversation series. We are very excited to have Bryan Halstead here with us from Richmond Electricians, and he's going to be sharing opportunities with their apprenticeship program and how students can become involved with that if they are interested in that field. So I'm going to go ahead and pass this over to you, Bryan. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Our apprenticeship is to train electricians in the electrical field, doing construction, mostly new construction, but we do have guys who go into service work as well as going in and doing refits on older buildings. So the apprenticeship is pretty simple to get the process started. Is you just go to our website, which is rjatc.org. There's an application on there. The process to get into apprenticeships is typically a longer process than a lot of jobs. They're sort of a bunch of hoops to jump through, whether it's you're going to have to take an aptitude test, which is going to be in two parts, a math and a reading comprehension, which is just basic algebra and then reading comprehension. And you're going to, you pass that, then you're going to go through the interview process. You're going to come before our committee, which is made up of local contractors and electricians, equal parts. So a lot of people get intimidated because it's when you get to the interview, all of a sudden there are 8 people in the room rather than just one. And it's easy to be intimidated. But these are just regular guys. Everybody who's in that room has been through this same process. And they're going to ask you, a dozen questions or so, and they're going to rank you based on your scores. You're going to be put on a rank sheet. And then as work comes up, they're going to start pulling from the top of that list down to put you to work. And so once you're accepted into the apprenticeship, how it works is you're going to work full time. And you're going to come to school one night a week from 1 in the afternoon till 7 o'clock at night. You're going to take 2 classes during that time. And, they're going to be sort of theory, but they're also going to be hands-on. I'm here in one of our in our labs here where we do a lot of the pipe bending and putting these lights in behind me that you see. And we take that down and then we put it back up and take it down and put it back up so that everybody gets a chance to put their hands on all the different tools that we use as electricians to build these buildings. Our program, like I said, we put you to work, and we got a ton of job sites right now. Basically, if any of you have seen all this cranes over Richmond right now, our apprentices are working at all those different job sites. One of the great things about being an electrician is that every job site's different. It has its own unique challenges and interest points, whether we're building a school or, in those cases, skyscrapers downtown. But even those buildings downtown, we got people working on government buildings. We got people working for VCU. We got people working at hospitals down there. And so each of those buildings is going to be very similar in how the electrical is distributed throughout the building. We're going to run pipes to contain the wires to protect them to all the different rooms and to all the different areas that need power. But obviously, like a hospital is going to have a lot more safety and need for them to be backup systems. Same with the government buildings and schools. They're all going to have their own unique features to them. And so in the apprenticeship, you're going to work no more than a year for any contractor at a time. So we're going to bounce you between contractors so that you get some of that breadth of experience, so that you might be working in a skyscraper one day, and you might be out in the field digging ditches for pole lights for parking areas. You might be working for stores. You might be working at a data center. We've got a lot of data centers going on in the Richmond area right now. which is where the internet truly lives. All those photos and documents that everybody creates, that's where they're stored on the cloud, is in these data centers. And so, as everyone knows, we put more and more of that stuff on the computer every day. So we need more of these buildings. So that's more or less the quick story. Like I said, you can go to the website. It's JATC.org. It's going to walk you through the application process. It's all online. You can certainly give us a call if you have any issues, or if we allow people to, while they're still in high school, go ahead, and we encourage them to go ahead and start that application process. We can't put you out to work until you've graduated high school. You have to be 18. You have to be able to get to the job sites, whether that's you've got a car, or you've got someone who can get you to the job sites for requirements. And but if you start now, that process is a little more likely that when you graduate, you'll be able to roll straight into a job placement. We do have two different pathways. So like I said, the apprenticeship, that's one night of class a week and working full time. The other, and that's a 5-year program, but we do it in 4 calendar years. So it's about the same as timing as college, but it's only $600 a semester as opposed to thousands of dollars. So you can pay as you go. And you just pay at the beginning of each semester, and you know it's going to be $600. So it's an easy sort of payment plan for the program. The other program is, we call this construction wireman program. You don't have to test to get into that. You still have to put in the application, but you're going to go through a longer work process. You're not going to do as much schooling, but because of that, it's going to take you longer to get through the process. It's closer to, 6 to 8 years probably to get through that to become a journeyman electrician. But you're taking less school and you're doing more hands-on to prove that you know all the different aspects of being an electrician. So, like I said, everything's booming right now in the construction field. We are getting lots of applicants, which is good for us. And we are staying busy. Our work projected looks great. But once you get through our system and you get that electrical license, you can take that anywhere in the country and get work. We have some apprentices who graduate and then immediately take off, hit the road, and find jobs. And they've gone all across the country. They stop and work for a couple of weeks in West Virginia, stop and work a couple of weeks in Indiana, all the way out to California. I've got a good buddy who went out there, and he was just planning on making a big loop through the country, and got out to California, and he loves it out there. He says he's never coming back. So yeah, and he's making really good money. I think he's making $89 an hour and working overtime. So yeah, our current rate is $32 an hour. So as an apprentice, you'd start at 17. So
that's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing all this with us. And just so we know, we can share with our students, for a student who's looking to apply and want to do the interview process and all of that, like what it makes them stand out with the interviews, with the application. What is something they could do to help stand out to you?
That's a great question. Interviewing is a skill in and of itself, and the best thing they can do is come in with a positive attitude and be happy and excited for the opportunity. So many people get in there and you can just tell they're really nervous, and I know that's hard to do, especially when you're sitting there with 8 people interviewing you. But you come in with a smile on your face and you say, "This is what I want to do. I've looked into what this means. I've looked at your website. I know this is how the program works." Show that they've done some research so that they know what the program is, which hopefully this video is helpful as well, so that they can state, "Yes, I do know what I'm getting into, and this is what I want to do." Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much. This is
Sure.
so helpful for our students and so helpful for us to know
Yeah.
so we can provide this information for our students as well. So thank you for taking the time to share this with us today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
My pleasure.